Ashang was named in the squad today. How likely is it that he'll play?
He's probably 50-50 at this stage.
Christian Wilhapwai was named in your squad today. How likely is it that he'll play?
There's a really good chance of playing. We expect him to play at this stage.
Obviously, last night was the reveal that Morgan Earls will play. How much of a boost is that for you?
Yeah, it's a big boost, obviously. He's been a really important player for us all year. I think he's one of the best players in the competition, and he's one of the best players in his position in the world. So it's a big boost for us, and one we're very happy with.
Rohan, are you surprised?
No, nothing would surprise as far as that process goes.
Christian, whose decision was it to take Morgan Earls into a second appeal? Was it your or was it actually mine?
Well, that was a group decision. Obviously, when Morgan was first charged, I commented afterwards that I'd be surprised if that was a suspension, and I stand by that. I didn't think it was a dangerous situation at all. And obviously you've got every right to defend yourself, and that's what we did in the first appeal. And out of that first appeal, there was a couple of points in closing that were quite contradictory, and that was obviously what we based our second appeal on. And it was a group decision that we all felt really comfortable with, and quite confident in as well. And we've had plenty of charges this year and plenty of suspensions, and we certainly haven't gone and fought every one. We've only fought the ones that we thought we had a really good chance or some real grounds to go and defend ourselves with, and that was certainly was the case with Morgan.
What would you say to those people who say that the way it's all been handled and the length of it isn't a good look for the game in general, maybe?
Oh, no, look, I think it's a process that has to be there. As I said before, you've got a right to defend yourself in every walk of life, and certainly if you feel like things do contradict or haven't been done exactly the right, not that haven't been done is probably not the right word, but aren't exactly right, you've got the right to appeal as well. And it's the same, as I said, in every walk of life, and certainly needs to be the same in our sport. The lateness of it can't be helped. Monday is when you get your charges, Tuesdays when your appeals happen, and when there's a second appeal, it has to happen the next day, obviously, and that was what happened. And, I think it's, I don't necessarily agree with every decision that gets made. It's part of the process, isn't it? Sometimes there's some controversy, but I think it's a fair process, and I think it's been handled well.
Has it been an unwanted distraction this week, or have you just gone about the business?
No, we've gone about our business. We obviously, as I said at the start, we thought we had grounds of appeal, and that meant we had some confidence before we went in, and we prepared in two ways, one without Morgan and one with Morgan, thinking there was a chance that he could play, and we're very happy that he can.
Rohan, does it change your approach? Have you kept an eye on it at all, or have you not been bothered?
We played as if he was going to play.
What was Morgan's reaction considering how he was to get?
Yeah, look, he was obviously really happy. And, like the rest of us, as I said right at the start, we thought there was a grounds for appeal there right from the start. And, we thought that the original charge and the original grading wasn't quite correct, and that's why we appealed. And, so there was a confidence and a belief there that we're going to get that result, and he was obviously happy with it.
Rohan, what was your reaction when you heard the news?
Didn't really have a major reaction. I thought it was every chance that it could go either way. So it's probably good for the game, good for the World Cup.
What are your thoughts on the way the process was handled and played out?
I'm not, on the inside of what they're hearing, what went down and what the case actually was. Aside from seeing the tackle, that's it. So I think each hearing is its own individual thing, and as was found from Tuesday to Wednesday, a different group of people can find a different answer to the same tackle. So it's I'm looking forward to the game.
What kind of message did you send about that kind of challenge?
Everyone's seen it. It's, rather not make too many comments about the whole process.
What was Ashang done this week to get in the squadron with a chance to play?
Yeah, he's got through a bunch of training, so he'd been training in rehab mode last week and made some decent progress. He's not done a really heavy training session as yet, but he's looking pretty close. So we'll just have to make a decision on that one tomorrow.
Has he done anything special to get into this position above and beyond?
Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff that we've done that we've maybe don't always do. We've explored some different avenues that have helped him to perhaps recover a little quicker than he may have otherwise. So
You can say what they are.
no, I'm not keen to do it.
Well, when you look at Reece Martin, who served the back, how much of a boost is it to get him back? Obviously, for such a big game, where can you tell us where he might play for the weekend?
It's great to have Reece back. He's been a big part of our club. The whole season he's been an ever present, aside from a few things out of his control. But he's played well. Looking forward to having him back, and no, I won't tell you where he's playing.
Can you talk about the options you've got for half-back?
Oh, we've got plenty of options, as has been publicly stated. We've had to use lots of different players in different positions over the last 4 months since I've been here, due to injuries and suspensions, which all clubs have to deal with that stuff. So we're pretty well versed in being adaptable to players being in or out or anywhere in between.
A year ago, you were in charge of North Devils going to a grand final. How different has this week been in the Super League grand final compared to that one?
Well, 5 months ago, I think I said the other day, I was at Ipswich and there was 300 people there at my last game in North Devils. And today we're here, so it's a long way to that sort of stuff. But as far as my own self goes, a bit more of this formalities. But I love coaching, whatever team I'm lucky enough to be involved in. So nothing much changes. Like for me personally, like every day of North Devils life was about trying to do the best I could for the players I was working with, and so nothing much has changed now other than a bit more public spotlight, I guess.
Christian, what about you getting into your final game in charge? What's your impressions?
Look, very focused on the game. For a minute thought about what happens after and everything else. And it's a big week, grand final week. Everyone knows the occasion. Everyone knows the excitement around the occasion as well, and that's been our focus. And obviously, with the stuff we were talking about before, it's been a busy week as well. So there hasn't been much time for reflection or anything at this stage. But we'll get to that in a few days, I suppose.
Kruise, when it was all going wrong at the start of the season, it's your first year as captain, did you ever think there'd be a chance that you'd be lifting that trophy next year?
I think to say back then, when it was tough, to say that we'd come to a grand final and get a chance to win it, I think I'd be lying. Did I think we had the squad to do something special? Yeah, I think everyone who looked down the team sheet that we put out had the same questions of why were we doing so well, and we were asking ourselves them questions. So yeah, to answer your question, I'd probably say I was lying, but I did believe that we had a squad to do something special.
Vincent Phil, Danny Maguire, the only two Leeds players, and Rob Burrow, I suppose, to lift that trophy. What would it mean to you to follow in their footsteps?
Yeah, it'd be unbelievable, obviously, to etch your name in history. It's something that I've not really thought about too much. Just about getting the job done, and it's been a massive team effort, and it's about everyone that's been involved, and it doesn't really make a difference to me who lifts that trophy. Obviously, it's nice to do it, and it would be me doing it. But yeah, I think the effort that's gone in and how we've stuck together as a team through them tough times that you've mentioned is what's most important in getting the win.
And James, for you, would it be a fourth Super League title to lift in a row? Is that an added motivation?
Yeah, definitely. I think we're obviously aware that three's been done before, and we've done a great job in getting three, but obviously we're in this 80 minutes away from potentially doing four, which has never been done. So we are very focused on the job at hand and focused on getting our own job in order, but at the same time, in the back of our mind, we do know what's at stake. We do know potentially if we was to go on and win four, how special that would be.
Do you think that cement this St Helens team is the best team in Super League history?
Possibly, yeah. I think it's very hard to compare teams from different eras, but there's no argument. I think if we was to go on and win it, then it's a fact, isn't it, that four's never been done before, and if that was the only team to do it, I think you definitely have to consider them.
Anyone?
Christy, can you talk about Nadal then? He was out with a fractured cheekbone. Is he really fit now to play?
He's been cleared to play if required, yes. So, as I said, he did fracture his cheekbone and was originally sort of a 4 to 5 week diagnosis, but we got that re-scanned recently, and the doctor was happy that he wasn't putting himself at further risk if he was to go and play, and the risk was very small, so that's something that Ian's very comfortable with.
You can put a top off the bench.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. It's good to get a couple back at the right time of the year, and he's certainly in consideration.
Well, just in terms of the lads who are listening, I think, just the two of you and Cannon, and obviously Caesar, you've done it the hard way in recent weeks with all the lads you've got injured or suspended. Does it feel like you have to do it again, you to get a victory on Saturday?
Yeah, it's disappointing for those guys to miss out or to not be available for selection, and, you know, particularly Vaden missing out in the manner that he has to miss out. It's really disappointing. But, you know, all the way through, it's been focusing on who is playing and not who isn't. So nothing much has changed there, but we certainly, you know, we acknowledge the efforts that other people have made to help us get this opportunity.
Bro, is it too big again for Jackson Field to come in? I'm confident putting Jackson Field in.
It won't be Jack at this stage, you know, unless something drastic happened between now and then. Yeah, he's only a boy and he's finding his way. He turned 18 yesterday, so maybe he's a man now.
Have you had to put an arm around Harry Newman this week after his injury setback on his goal against the World Cup and his game?
Maybe you have to put an arm around Harry most days, but no, just that's a joke. He's a great kid. He's been really good. He's in training today, and they're throwing some banter around and being part of it. He'll be with us for the weekend to get around it and contribute as best he can. Players have been really good with that, putting their own personal situations aside and being a contributing factor to the environment. You know, has been a really pleasing aspect of our sort of growth as a squad.